Hi everyone, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and here is a Dying to Knit vlog. I have a very knit-worthy friend who asked if I could make her a rainbow hat. And I had this in mind back when I was doing my June livestream fundraiser for the Trevor Project. And I dyed a lot of different self-striping / gradient style yarns with connected mini skeins or even a large crochet chain to create some options. I've been trying to find a place that is quiet enough for me to film an intro. Inside my house, the kids are being loud. And out here, okay, now we have a plane and we have a lot of yard work. Anyway, I did keep one of the other skeins that I dyed in the original live stream for myself. But now let's go back in time so you can see how I dyed this yarn. This yarn is a wool alpaca blend, and it's a yarn base that I used for a hat for myself, so I knew it was really warm and would make a perfect winter hat. I wanted to make this gradient kind of shape, and I hadn't decided on the colors yet, but I decided to crochet the entire skein to make it a little bit shorter, so that way without making connected mini skeins, I could dye it sort of in order to get our color progressions. Well, this took forever. It took forever to crochet it up, but you know what? I think the end result is going to be worth it, because I arranged it on my countertop so that way one end of the yarn would be on one side, one on the other, roughly divided it up, and then added on neon fluorescent colors so that way we could get a neon fluorescent colorway. And oh my goodness, I am obsessed with these neons, especially black light blue, you know that. But after I hand painted the yarn, I did go ahead and steam set it for 30 minutes in my steamer basket. You can go rewatch the live stream replay for a real-time version of this dyeing, but I wanted to give a little feel of how I created the yarn before you watch me knit with it. And knit with it I did. I'll be honest, I finished this a couple months ago and gave it to the recipient a while ago. I'll be honest, I don't know how many clips that I filmed for you. Hopefully I filmed enough so that way it's a little bit coherent. And I also don't know if I'm going to be inserting some other very special clips of things that happened alongside while I was working on this hat, or if I'm going to separate that out and let it be its own video. We'll see how long it's going to be. But now let's go into me knitting a neon rainbow hat. I brought these two colorways that I haven't even wound yet to the intended recipient of the rainbow hat. And I also made her try on this hat, which is made out of this yarn, and this hat, which is made out of this yarn. And it seems like her head is a similar size to mine, so I can try things on myself, which is always good. But after going back and forth, it seems like this neon rainbow is gonna be the yarn for the art teacher. And for fun, let's see, with ambient light, oh, we got a lot of glow. Let's turn the light off. I'm curious. I mean, there's still ambient light in here. I'm curious. We do have a little bit of some fluorescence in the blue. Not as much, but we did, you can see that alternating the two colors. We do still have some fluorescence in there. But I would say, honestly, the purple pop also has patchy fluorescence because of the blue in there. But, woohoo! I'm so excited. The thing with yarn prep for this one is that it's actually going to be a little bit easier than some of the other skeins that I'm going to need to rewind properly. Because since this yarn is just a crocheted chain, I can wind it directly from these strands into a yarn cake as long as things don't get too tangled. And so that's exactly what I'm going to try to do. There wasn't any major felting that had happened, but occasionally with unraveling the crochet chain, it does get a little bit stuck as some of the hairs sort of tangle a tiny bit. So it's just slow and steady progress. And here we are with our gradient. Oh, it's so, so pretty. And I'm really happy. A little more voiceover for before. Once I started unraveling the crochet chain more as I went versus trying to have the ball winder unravel it for me, things sped up and went a lot faster. I'm just amazed that I did not tangle the crochet chain at all throughout all of this. It worked really well. It just took forever to crochet it. So as I start thinking about doing it again, no, that's a reason why not to. But yeah, now I have to decide if I want to make another Sidewinder beanie. I think that, I mean, I love this hat. It's super cozy. Yeah, I don't know if that's the best one, because I think that we'd get some fun coloration in there. I just don't know how it would look with stripes. Maybe I should go check other projects. I'm getting ready to knit this hat. Finally, school starts in a little over a week. So I'm very excited to work on this project. But the question I now have, do I go pink to purple or purple to pink? Ooh, this is a really, really hard one. If I were making the hat for myself, I would do purple to pink. So that way purple would be closest to my face. I don't know. This is too hard. I should have asked. I mean, I could text the recipient, but I should make my judgment and just go for it. Now, hopefully, as I set this up, Ryder may also start his first knitting project today. We'll see. That'll probably be more of a short versus a full video, but I don't know. I'm trying not to get my hopes up. I may have my hopes up if I don't mention this again in the video. But anyway, I think I'm going to do the Sidewinder beanie again. I don't know how that pattern will feel on this gradient, but I love the way the hat fits and I wear that all the time. So I think that that's a good one to go off of. And I'll update like my Ravelry page with any like modifications or anything I do along the way, but let's get to it. So we're about to go home on Ryder and Mommy's, our Mommy and Me weekend. And Ryder, what are we going to do when we get home?
I'm going to knit for the first time while watching Jurassic Park.
Are you excited?
Duh.
What are you going to knit?
A hat.
Have you ever made a hat before?
No, it's my first time. I already told you that.
Now, what have you made? Have you done anything that's called knitting before?
Well, does sewing count?
No, sewing doesn't count. Have you done finger knitting though, right?
Well, yes.
Finger knitting is like making an I-cord.
Hey.
All right, let's go to it, kiddo.
Lollipop.
You'll figure out the cadence. As soon as we got home from our sushi dinner, I set Ryder up with a little loom. I helped with the first round, and then he grabbed the hook from me because he wanted to do it himself. And the kid was off. I am so proud. I could barely contain myself. First stitches! Ryder, how's knitting going?
Pretty, I'd say easy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You happy?
Yeah. Now, when's the movie going to start?
Okay, I'll put the movie on. I promise I was knitting too. As soon as Ryder was going and we started playing Jurassic Park, we ended up watching all 6 movies over our weekend together because we were knitting up a storm. And it's our favorite franchise. But I was knitting while my kid was knitting, and this was my dream come true. Everything I had hoped for. I think my gauge is too loose. I think I need to frog and start over. Because this just, looks really loose. Man. The other thing I noticed, and the lighting here is bad right now, but this hat has faded a lot since I knit it. The original color and the color now. So it's not just food coloring that fades, but I wear this hat all the time. So that's just kind of funny. What did you say?
My hat's feeling really lovely, right?
It is. Can I see it? Here, pass it to me. Oh my gosh. I know you're doing better than me, but I've had to restart a couple times. This is beautiful. I have no idea if it'll fit on your head, though.
Probably sweats.
Yeah, maybe a bit. Do you feel proud? Nice. And Jurassic Park. Woo-hoo! We are starting to transition to yellow, and since this is my, I guess, third redo, The color transitions have actually been happening near where the row changes are, which is just a little bit silly. I'm watching Jurassic Park now. So my concerns at this point are that I'm done with 2 of the colors. And wait, did this only really have 5 and a little bit? Hopefully there's more than a little bit of purple. I mean, all the colors are there. Oh, I'm confusing this with one of my other rainbows that I dyed recently. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so hard. So I don't know which one was the smallest, and I don't know if I'm really a third done. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. Oh, and my dreams have come true.
What?
It's next morning, and Ryder, what are you doing?
Knitting.
Just straight back to it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
This thing is... Oh, finally. This wouldn't agree with me.
Ah. Let's see your progress, okay? Ooh. So much! Not enough. Not enough. My 8-year-old learned how to do finger knitting over at camp, and so he was familiar with that concept. So when we set him up with the knitting loom last night, he was off like a shot. I mean, the stitch is a little different than what I expected either, but I think hopefully we'll give the piece more stretch. And we know a 4-year-old that if this hat is too small for Ryder, that it should fit the 4-year-old. But I am so proud. And this morning, Ryder woke up and was like, I just want to knit. It makes me so happy. I really think that he could do well with circular needles and that process. He's really understanding about loops. And so maybe his next project will do that, or we'll get him a bigger loom so that way he can make something that is more likely to fit him. But I'm so proud. This has been a dream come true. And all I can think about is like the Lizzie McGuire song. This is what dreams are made of. Well, I know it's the Hilary Duff song, but from the Lizzie McGuire movie. Ryder's been doing so well. We got this far before I had to help him because I realized that maybe it was just the second morning, but he started doing the wraps for these stitches backwards. And so that double wrap was on the front and it made it so tight it was hard to get over. But I think we fixed it. I did have to send him out of the room while I troubleshooted it because it was hard and I may have bent the hook a little bit, but I think I have it so that way he can be back on track and smooth sailing. Of course, we had to put on another movie, so we started Jurassic Park 4 because I think 1 and 4 are 2 of our favorites out of the 6 in the franchise. But as I mentioned, we did end up watching all of them this weekend. I finished around almost 14 rows as we are about to transition to the green, and there's about 53 grams of yarn left. I started with 104. I obsessively weigh yarn when I work on a project because that way I can tell if I need to modify, use less yarn to work on decreases or anything like that, I say with a grin. Now, I did 29 rounds of the main pattern for my last hat, and then the decreases take place over like 4 rounds in the pattern, but it might be more because I added some stitches at the beginning. So I'm very optimistic that I have enough yarn because we also did the cast on in 5 rounds of the ribbing. So let's say we've got 13 rounds. That's closer to 18 or 19 rounds. And yeah, so I think we should be fine. Cross your fingers for me though. I don't like yarn chicken. The last time I used under 100 grams of yarn total for the hat. And so I think I had about 104 when I started. And my extra tail is not too long, so we should be good. I'm a happy mama. Another little update as we're about to transition into the blue. I'm really happy with these little variegated transition pieces that I have. I know that the dyeing time lapse is going to be in this video, but I'm very, very happy about that because it helps with the blend because it really does create less of a harsh line. Of course, having the purl stitches also blends things up a little bit and it sort of brings the colors up the spiral a little bit more, which I think is nice and fun. I'm very, very happy. Ryder wanted to show off, I guess. I've done 29 or 30 repeats of this pattern here. And in the next round, I would finally start to get some purple. So I'm going to do one more round before starting the decreases, which is a little bit too many, but I'm hoping to get some purple at the very top. And then I have an idea of something I can do to bring some of the purple down to the bottom as well. But we'll see. Depending on how much we have left, we'll decide if we're going to try to do some kind of like pom-pom thing, or if I want to embroider just a little bit of purple down at the bottom, do like a crochet border maybe. So we'll see. But I think one more round won't hurt, because here's my version of the hat. And so like it could have a little bit more height. It wouldn't be bad, certainly, for it to have a little more. So I don't think that'll be bad. So let's go for it. Working on decreases of the hat. And I just watched my recap from the live stream reel and remembered that this was a crochet chain. And so therefore, that's why some of the segments are different sizes, because I didn't do wraps to figure that out. That's also why the blending is good, and we have some variation going between color and color, and it's a little more variegated because these weren't mini skeins. I was so surprised by how variegated some of those overlaps were. Now I remember why. But it goes to show that if you have a couple weeks, that it's easy to forget what you were doing. But we're almost done. And I would say, especially given that I restarted this a couple of times, because I don't know if I filmed it either. I didn't like my gauge or I miscounted. This took about 2 movies to finish. There's purple on the top of the hat, but I debated adding like some kind of like duplicate stitch of the cast on of the purple on the bottom. And I don't think I love the way that that takes away from the pink. So I think I'm going to skip it. And there is purple there. It's just you can't see it. Okay, it's a little bit of a wimpy pom-pom, but now from a selfie angle, you can see the purple. So I don't know. I'll probably tie it in a bow and be like, hey, you can tie this on and like sew it on properly if you want. Otherwise it can easily come off. So yeah, but I think that it is cute. I haven't blocked it. I honestly don't know if I am. I'm really usually team block, but it's got like a good sort of like structure to it. So I think I might skip it. You're going to try it on?
Come on.
Oh my goodness. How does it feel?
I'm really good.
Okay, so you're still going to need to do a fair amount more, so that way you would actually be able to wear it, so I can close it. Okay? Ryder, you're doing great. All right. We're getting close. Here, come here so I can help. Okay, so we're getting close to where we can close it just by pulling things tight. But if I were to do that right now, then it wouldn't fit on your head anymore. Okay? What?
I just finished my hat.
You did? Try it on, try it on. Try it on. I think that this is definitely going to have enough space. Ah!
I would like to give thanks to my mom for encouraging me all the way. My dad for being tearful that I did it. My brother who doesn't know anything about this.
Awesome, kiddo. All right.
And my dog who is upstairs hiding with the movie.
All right, kiddo. I'll finish it for you, okay? So the one note I have, and Ryder has done amazingly well. There's one row, I think I can tell that he reversed the direction of the twist. There's a different row where we had issue, but otherwise, that other row he did it backwards and it made it really tight, but we fixed it. The kid has skills. But the other thing that I would note that I was just pointing out is The rose started over here at that peg. And so now it's here. So I don't know how he did that, but it's fine. It's all good. He did great. I'm so proud of him. All right. I need to finish this off. All right, Ryder, put it on. It's big. But here, let me help you. Let me help you. Come here, kiddo. See, this is why I had you make it long, because then you could fold the brim, which makes it a little warmer. Because otherwise...
And then it's bigger too.
So what do you think? Are you pretty proud of yourself?
I can sleep in this.
You're not going to sleep in it, but Ryder, we'll take some pictures of it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, kiddo. Is that your celebration dance? So what do you think?
It is awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you really happy?
Yeah.
So Ryder, what are you going to knit next?
I'm going to knit a bag full of some kittens I have.
Are they real kittens or stuffies?
It depends. Do you have an imagination or not? If you have imagination, real. If you don't, then they're just stuffies.
So you're excited to do more?
Yes.
Was knitting fun?
Yes.
And was that a great time for Mommy and Me weekend?
Yes.
So having never knit a loom hat myself, the thing that I'm surprised is that this area can't really come down more. So it feels like it's really tall, but because of the way it's gathered with so many stitches without decreases, it needs a little bit of a bump. But otherwise it's so fitted with so much negative ease. Yeah, with negative ease. So that's why this is stretched so much. But and that twisted loop stitch is really, really nice. It does feel really silly to be wearing a winter hat when it is still summer outside, but I'm really happy that right now I just threw it on. I didn't try to position it or anything, and I'm seeing the full rainbow. Oh my gosh. But as for the amount of yarn I used and everything, this is what's left over after weaving in the loose ends on the hat, because everything else that was left that was purple, I included up there. But there is one thing I need to do. All right, I'm in the closet with the light on, so... All right, let me shut the door and turn off the light. Okay, light off. Okay, wait, it's overexposed. Oh my gosh. Wow, we're really overexposed. Okay, let me start and stop. Okay, I think I need to not shine the light directly on because when I do, it gets very, very overexposed. But trying to show you guys. I think I'm gonna have to do this at another angle because having it this close to me, maybe far away. Oh my gosh, it's so fun though. Let me put it on the floor. Okay, I think you can see the fluorescence a little bit better. I mean, clearly the yellow is the brightest, but there is a little bit of fluorescent blue up here. I don't know if you can really see. I'm trying to block a lot of the yellow, but there was a little bit of some black light blue in there, not much. I mean, clearly it seems like the blue and the purple aren't very fluorescent. Maybe I should flip it around so that way you see these closest. Oh man. It's hard to get tired of doing the black light. Oh my gosh, but so you can kind of see the blues when it first lights up before it adjusts the exposure. In that moment, you can see some of the bits like right here that glow. It's just once the camera adjusts that exposure because of the yellow that's in there, you don't see it as much, which is fine. I believe I had to mix like a Caribbean blue in there with a black light blue so that way our blue could show as much of a punch as the other colors. But this hat is so fun and perfect for an art teacher. I really hope that you've enjoyed this vlog as I was working on this hat. I know it's a pattern I've done before, but that's possibly my favorite hat, and so that's why I wanted to recreate it for someone I care about. I am Rebecca from ChemKnits, and I really hope that you've enjoyed this video. I sometimes will try to do more long form dyeing as a tutorial when I'm working on a project. I know this one was more of a time lapse, but I did do the dyeing portion in a live stream, so you can go watch all of that if you want to know how to recreate your own version of this hat. And I have a feeling that I'm going to be making myself a rainbow hat soon because I am kind of jealous of this and want one for myself. And I know you don't deal with black light things very often, but sometimes if you come out in the sun, and it's a little bit hazy right now, I don't have direct sunlight, but sometimes the colors can feel a little brighter and even more vibrant just because of the ultraviolet light that is in the sun. And so even though you might not have a black light and then be turning that on to see like the fluorescence in your colors, that can contribute to the neon quality of whatever it is that you're creating. And so that, my friends, is very, very fun. Anyway, I am Rebecca from ChemKnits. Thank you so much for watching. And I am now working on a dyeing to knit project that has hibernated for 2 years. And that one is not a hat, but most of them are hats because honestly, that's what I have a desire for most frequently because I wear them so much. Oh goodness. Somehow in all of this, I never ended up getting any pictures of me and Ryder both in our finished hats. We had some in progress, but I didn't know when I started editing how much his first ever knitting project was going to be a part of this hat for an art teacher that he adores, that I adore, that Lucas adores. And so it's really exciting to share this with all of you. Now, Lucas also learned how to knit later that week. The kids swapped with grandparents, and Lucas didn't want me to film and share a lot of that. And so I'm going to respect him there. But so I had a double joyous week with both of my kids learning to knit. Although I can't say Lucas hasn't finished his hat yet. So he also really enjoyed the process, and that's all I can ask for. Today that I'm posting this is my actual birthday, so please wish me a happy birthday down in the comments and give me the best birthday present by subscribing and turning on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thank you so much for watching.